Are your plants turning yellow, wilting, or completely drooping in front of your eyes and you have no idea why? It's like you've tried everything. You've watered, you've pruned, you've placed them in the sun, and still, they seem to be withering away. If this sounds familiar, brace yourself because you're probably making one or more devastating mistakes that are silently killing your plants. But don't panic, because today we're going to uncover the real reasons your plants are dying, and most importantly, why you can save them before it's too late. When it comes to plant care, two main factors play a pivotal role in determining the health and longevity of your plants: overwatering and underwatering. While these issues may seem simple at first glance, they are often surprisingly difficult to diagnose. However, they are among the most common reasons why plants wither away, and understanding how they work is crucial for keeping your plants alive and thriving. You might think that the more water you give your plants, the better off they'll be. After all, plants rely on water for survival, right? Unfortunately, overwatering is a serious issue that can be just as harmful, if not more so, than not watering them enough. Overwatering is one of the most common mistakes made by new gardeners, and it can be incredibly detrimental to the plant's health in a very short amount of time. When plants receive too much water, the excess moisture causes the soil to become waterlogged, suffocating the plant's roots. In healthy soil, the roots can access oxygen that is essential for their survival. However, when the roots are submerged in waterlogged soil, oxygen is displaced, leading to suffocation. This lack of oxygen can cause the roots to rot, a condition known as root rot. As the roots begin to decompose, they can no longer absorb the necessary nutrients and water from the soil. This makes the plant unable to sustain itself, and soon you'll begin to notice visible signs of distress, such as yellowing leaves and wilting, even though you might think the plant is receiving enough water. In extreme cases, the plant may collapse entirely and it will die. The danger of waterlogging is not just the amount of water given to the plant, but also the drainage capacity of the soil. Poorly draining soil combined with regular watering creates a perfect storm for the buildup of stagnant water around the roots. If the soil is unable to drain properly, water can accumulate at the bottom of the pot, trapping the roots in a constantly wet environment. Eventually, this stagnant water leads to root rot, and the plant will begin to show signs of stress, eventually succumbing to the damage caused by overwatering. Now, on the flip side, underwatering is another killer that can be just as detrimental, though it often happens more gradually and silently. Unlike overwatering, which typically causes immediate distress, underwatering takes time to show its effects. Your plant may seem fine for a while, but as the soil continues to dry out, the plant will begin to exhibit subtle signs of stress. The leaves may curl up at the edges, and the edges themselves may turn dry and crispy. As the soil becomes drier, it will begin to crack, and the plant's roots will start to suffer from dehydration. In more severe cases of underwatering, the plant's roots will start to shrivel, becoming brittle and dry. This is a dangerous sign that the plant is running out of moisture, and if the issue is not addressed in time, the plant will die from lack of water. Unfortunately, by the time you notice the symptoms of underwatering, it may already be too late to save the plant. This gradual decline makes underwatering particularly difficult to detect, but it is just as harmful as overwatering if not managed properly. The key to avoiding both overwatering and underwatering lies in understanding the specific water needs of your plants. Each species has its own ideal moisture requirements, so finding that delicate balance between too much water and not enough is essential for healthy growth. A helpful rule of thumb is to check the top inch of the soil. If it feels dry, it's time to water your plant. However, if the soil is still damp, it's best to wait a day or two before checking again. This simple practice can help you avoid the pitfalls of both overwatering and underwatering. Additionally, make sure your pots have proper drainage holes. These holes allow excess water to escape, preventing the water from accumulating at the bottom of the pot, where it can lead to root rot. If you're growing plants that require consistent moisture, choose a soil mix that retains water without becoming soggy. For plants that prefer drier conditions, use a well-draining soil mix to allow excess water to escape freely. Watering is not the only factor in plant health. Light, is another crucial component for a plant's survival. Plants need light to carry out photosynthesis, the process by which they convert light energy into chemical energy to fuel their growth. Without enough light, plants can't produce the energy they need to survive, and they will begin to suffer. However, just like water, light can be both a blessing and a curse if not managed properly. While some plants thrive in direct sunlight, others can't tolerate it at all. For example, plants like succulents and cacti are well adapted to the harsh rays of the sun and do best when exposed to full sunlight for several hours a day. On the other hand, plants that are not accustomed to intense sunlight can suffer from sunburn if placed in direct sunlight for extended periods. Sunburn shows up as brown or crispy patches on the leaves, and in severe cases, the leaves may die completely. This is especially common when plants are suddenly moved from a shaded environment to a sunny spot without being gradually acclimated to the stronger sunlight. If you notice your plant's leaves beginning to curl, turn brown at the edges, or become dry and crispy, this could be a sign that the plant is getting too much direct sunlight. Excessive light can also cause the soil to dry out more quickly, further stressing the plant. To prevent this, it's important to know the light preferences of each plant species in your care. Some plants require direct sunlight, while others thrive in lower light conditions. If your plant isn't getting enough light, it will begin to exhibit signs of slow growth, weak stems, and a general decline in health. The leaves may turn pale or yellowish, and the stems will stretch out towards the light in an attempt to reach it. This is known as etiolation, and it results in long, spindly stems with fewer leaves. This is a clear sign that your plant is struggling to get the light it needs to grow and thrive. To provide the right amount of light for your plants, it's essential to understand their specific needs. Some plants, like succulents, need full sun, while others, such as ferns or peace lilies, prefer indirect light or shade. Before placing a plant in a particular location, do some research on its light requirements. If your plant needs direct sunlight, place it in a window where it can bask in the sun for several hours a day. If your plant prefers indirect light, a spot near a window but out of direct sunlight is ideal. For plants that require a lot of light but can't get enough from natural sources, consider using artificial grow lights. These lights mimic natural sunlight, providing the perfect spectrum of light for plant growth. In conclusion, proper watering and lighting are crucial to the health of your plants. While overwatering and underwatering can both be harmful, understanding your plant's specific needs will help you avoid these issues and ensure its survival. By paying attention to the amount of water and light your plants receive, you can create the optimal environment for them to thrive and grow strong. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced gardener, learning how to manage these two factors will help you avoid common mistakes and keep your plants happy and healthy. A plant's roots are like the foundation of a house. If the foundation is weak or poorly constructed, the entire plant will suffer. This comparison perfectly illustrates how crucial the quality of the roots is for the overall health of a plant. The roots anchor the plant to the soil and are responsible for absorbing water and nutrients essential for growth. Just like a house with a shaky foundation will eventually collapse, a plant with weak or damaged roots will struggle to thrive. Inadequate or poorly constructed soil conditions can quickly lead to problems that will affect the roots and ultimately the plant's overall health. Without proper support, plants may become stunted, diseased, or even die. Thus, paying attention to the type of soil you provide is essential. Soil is more than just a place for your plant to sit. It's a living environment where the plant gets its nutrients, water, and oxygen. It plays a crucial role in water retention and drainage, both of which are vital for the plant's health. If the soil is too compacted or doesn't allow proper airflow, the plant's roots won't be able to absorb the nutrients and water effectively. The right soil encourages the roots to grow strong and healthy, while poor soil can quickly suffocate them. Soil that doesn't allow air to circulate can cause the roots to become oxygen deprived, which in turn prevents the plant from absorbing the nutrients it needs to grow. Another major concern when it comes to soil is the type of soil being used. Different plants require different soil types depending on their native environment. For example, succulents need fast-draining, sandy soil, while tropical plants prefer a heavier, moisture-retentive mix. Using the wrong type of soil can lead to many issues, including poor root growth, poor water retention, or even root rot. The consequences of using the wrong soil can be severe and, in some cases, may even lead to the death of the plant. Therefore, understanding the specific needs of each plant you are caring for is essential when selecting soil. Even if the soil is of good quality, poor drainage can still be a problem. Soil that doesn't drain well can create a waterlogged environment in the pot, which can lead to root rot. When water is trapped in the pot, the roots may not be able to breathe, suffocating them and causing them to decay. This is one of the most common issues that many plant owners face, and it can be very detrimental to the health of the plant. The roots need to be able to access oxygen, and standing water in the soil prevents that from happening. Without proper drainage, the excess water may linger for too long, which can quickly create an environment where fungi and bacteria thrive. To ensure your plants are getting the right amount of water without risking waterlogging, it's important to use pots with drainage holes at the bottom. These drainage holes allow excess water to escape, ensuring that the roots don't sit in stagnant water. In addition to drainage holes, you can also add a layer of gravel at the bottom of the pot to further improve water flow. This simple step can make a big difference in the health of your plants by preventing water from collecting around the roots. Even if you've got your watering, light, and soil conditions under control, pests and diseases can still present a serious threat to your plants. Many gardeners don't realize their plants are infested until the damage is already done. Pests such as aphids, spider mites, mealybugs, and whiteflies are common culprits that feed on the plant's sap. These pests drain the plant of essential nutrients, weakening it and slowing its growth. As these pests feed on the sap, the plant becomes more vulnerable to disease and less able to fend off environmental stressors. If not addressed in time, infestations can quickly spread and cause severe damage, especially if you have multiple plants in close proximity. They can also leave behind sticky residues that can attract mold or fungi. Fungal and bacterial infections can also be a major problem for plants. Fungal diseases like powdery mildew and leaf spot thrive in damp conditions, often taking hold when the plant's environment is too humid or wet. In these conditions, fungal spores spread easily, infecting plants and causing spots, discoloration, or even leaf drop. Bacterial infections can cause even more rapid decay, and these infections can spread quickly, infecting other plants nearby. Keeping a close eye on your plants for early signs of these problems is crucial to stopping them before they take hold. Regularly inspect your plants for visible signs of pests and diseases. Look for tiny holes in the leaves, discoloration, sticky residue, or visible insects crawling on the plant. If you spot any pests, it's important to treat your plant immediately to prevent the problem from getting worse. Natural pesticides like neem oil or insecticidal soap can be very effective at controlling pests. For fungal and bacterial issues, prune away any infected leaves and treat the remaining healthy parts of the plant with antifungal or antibacterial solutions. Taking action at the first sign of trouble can save your plants from further damage and ensure they continue to thrive. Temperature and humidity are also key factors that can affect your plant's well-being. Many plant owners fail to consider the impact of temperature fluctuations and dry air, yet these factors can make a significant difference in the health of your plants. Exposure to extreme temperatures can cause shock to plants, weakening them and making them more susceptible to diseases and pests. Most houseplants prefer stable temperature ranges and can struggle if exposed to sudden changes in their environment. For example, placing plants near drafts, air conditioners, heaters, or vents can cause temperature fluctuations that are harmful to the plant. Tropical plants, in particular, require high humidity levels to thrive. Dry air, especially during the winter months when indoor heating systems are running, can cause the leaves to dry out, become crispy, and eventually fall off. These conditions can cause the plant to become stressed, leading to poor health and stunted growth. If you live in an area with dry air, it's important to provide additional moisture to the environment around your plants. You can use a humidifier to increase the humidity or place plants on trays filled with pebbles and water. The water in the tray will evaporate and help maintain a higher humidity level around the plant. With all of these factors considered, proper soil, drainage, pest control, temperature, and humidity, it's clear that there's a lot to keep in mind when caring for your plants. However, if you pay close attention to their specific needs and take the right precautions, you can avoid common mistakes and ensure your plants thrive. Whether it's overwatering, improper light, pests, or temperature stress, every plant problem has a solution. By making small adjustments and providing the proper care, you can help your plants flourish and enjoy a beautiful, healthy garden. So don't wait any longer. Take the necessary steps today to keep your plants healthy and thriving and watch them grow to their full potential.